y'all, welcome and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Nikki. In today's video, I will be showing you how I budget my paycheck. So let's get right into it. First thing I do is take out my notebook, you guys. I've been budgeting in this notebook since the beginning of this year. I flip over to the month of March because that's the month that we're actually working on. And I like to actually budget by paycheck. So what that means is that all of the bills and expenses that I'm planning out for the month, I'm going to be taking care of that with my paycheck. So this paycheck that I'm referring to is the second paycheck of the month. So everything that you see listed from the 15th up until the next time that I'm paid, which is the 29th. So we're going to list everything up until the 28th that's going to be covered with this paycheck. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to a blank sheet. So this is my paycheck budget worksheet where I can plan out all of my bills and expenses here. And then once I start spending money, I'm going to track my expenses over here. So the first thing I do is I write down the date that I'm supposed to be getting paid, which is March 15th. Now I work at the post office, so I usually just put USPS. I budget all of my paychecks to be $2,000. That's the lowest amount that I've ever received from the post office. Now I also leave some remaining amounts in my banking account as well. However, I don't necessarily budget for it. So I always put zero up under the budget amount for it, even though I know that I'm gonna leave something. Sometimes I just don't know how much that amount is gonna be because my overall goal is to pay down debt and to start back building up my savings so that I can use that money for a home. So I'm gonna put remaining up under USPS and I'm gonna budget $0. And that gives me a total paycheck budget of $2,000. Now, today is March 16th, so I was already paid on the 15th. And what usually happens when I'm paid, I just come over here and I just plan everything out because now I know exactly how much I'm going to be working with this paycheck. So I'm going to put my actual amount of money that I got paid, which was $2,025.98, and then I had $968.99 left over in my checking account once that paycheck hit, which gives me a total paycheck amount of $2,994.97. The next thing I do is I list out all of the bills and expenses that's going to be taken care of with that paycheck. So if we go back to the calendar right here, I just list out all of the bills and expenses that's highlighted in green. That is actually going to be covered with the paycheck that we are budgeting. And I have everything set up on automatic draft that just works best for me. I don't have to think about if my bills are paid. I know that it's actually paid because I have it set up that way. Now for the expenses such as gas, that I have to actually go out for, and usually I go to the gas station every single Sunday. If you follow me on TikTok and Instagram, then I always do like gas station videos of showing you guys of me going to the gas station and showing you how much I actually spent at the gas station. So let's go ahead and plan out this paycheck and cover all of the bills and expenses and see what we be having left. So the first thing I like to prioritize is my saving and investing. So on the 15th, retirement is going to be the first thing that comes out of my paycheck. Even before money hits my banking account, they're going to take that retirement off top. And that's always going to be $98.81. Now that is I don't set this amount. My job actually set this amount according to my salary. So they take out a percentage of my salary, and this is the amount that is covered for retirement. The next thing is investing. This is my thrift savings plan. I am investing 3% of my paycheck. I did drop it from 7% to 3% because I'm trying to maximize the amount of take-home money that I'm bringing in, so that, like I said before, you guys, I'm on a credit improvement plan, and I gotta pay off debt, and I gotta save money to try to get this house within the next couple of months. So that's why I drop my investing to like the bare minimum, which is 3%. And once I'm able to get inside of this house, then I will raise that back to my 7%. So 3% is $67.37. Now, I also have a personal savings that I use. Before I was actually saving for a home, I was using this as just like my emergency fund. My goal was to save at least 3 months of expenses for emergency. I got it up to that, and then I moved on to 6 months, and then then I was going on to 12 months. But now that I'm in the process of purchasing a home, I may have to use majority of that money, for that. But I'm gonna continue on budgeting at $250 into my personal savings. The next bill that's supposed to come out is on the 16th, and that's Merit credit card. Now, I did pay off Merit credit card. However, they charged me like a annual monthly fee, so $4 was left on this card, and that's the amount that I'm gonna budget for because that is also set up on automatic draft. The next expense is Shopify. I have so many Shopify accounts. I don't know why. It's just I had a boutique that I was running a couple of years ago during the pandemic, and then I shut that down because my personal brand started taking off, and then I started adding digital products to that. Also, this budget notebook is added on that website because I wanted to keep everything separate. Now I'm just in a space where I'm like, okay, well, maybe can I merge the two? Like, overall, my activewear business is like a self-improvement. It's called Glow Girl Glow Boutique, which is it's about women achieving goals and glowing up, and budgeting or getting out of debt, raising your savings, building your emergency funds. All of that is part of the glow up. So I'm really thinking about merging the two and just adding the boutique over here to the Just Call Me Nikki, but I'm not quite sure just yet. So right now we're gonna leave it separate, and I'm gonna budget Shopify at $39. Also on the 17th is when I go to the gas station. Like I said before, on Sundays I reset for the week and I go and I get gas, and just to start off my week with a full tank of gas. So gas, I'm budgeting at $50. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm budgeting at $60 because gas has went up. Today, I actually put a little bit amount of gas in my car because I had to go somewhere, and gas was $3.39. So I know that I'm probably gonna use this entire $60 for gas. Hopefully, I don't go over that amount. Now, on the 18th, it's aftercare fees for my son. I pay aftercare fees every single Monday, and that's $85. On the 20th, it's my phone bill. I pay the phone bill for me and my son. Normally, that's like around $200 and some change. So I'm just going to round it up a little bit to $201. Then the next expense is on the 24th. So I have about 4 days break of not spending any money, hopefully. And it's going to be Sunday again, and I'm going to have to go back to the gas station. And we're going to put $60 down there for that. And then on the 25th, I have Canva. So I have a few subscriptions coming out. It's Canva for $12.95. I have Capital One, another credit card. And I'm budgeting $31 for that. And then on the 25th, we have aftercare fees again. It seems like aftercare fees just roll around real quick. And that's $85. And then on the 26th, we have Tube Buddy at $6. And let me just look back just to make sure I have gotten everything. So yeah, I got everything there, and the reason why you see a different amount here is because I actually written out this budget back in December. I like to budget ahead of time, so I was doing it quarterly. However, aftercare fees went up this month. Last month they told us it was gonna go up. Certain things for the gas, it went up as well. Like, I make changes accordingly to the price that is current. So instead of me doing quarterly budgets, I'm gonna have to focus on month to month because things changes really quick. So now I'm gonna add everything up just to see how much all of these bills and expenses comes up to. So let's do that now. And it comes up to $1,000.13, which is amazing. So now what I do is I do what is called a zero-based budget. And basically that means I take my income and I subtract all of my bills and expenses and I see what I have left. And with that money that I have left, I get it down to zero. So it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to have zero amount of money in my banking account. It's just that I'm giving every single dollar a job to do, because I don't want to just think that I have free money left over. I have monthly goals. So I want to be making sure that I'm meeting my monthly goals and focusing on my money goals and, budgeting accordingly. So income, subtract expenses, equals what? So my income for this pay period is $2,994.97, and I'm subtracting $1,013. What would I have left? Let's see. 2,994.97 subtract 1,000. I'm left with $1,994.84. And then usually when I have over $500 left over, and when I subtract my income minus my bills and expenses, I just split that amount 3 different ways. So if I divide this by 3, I'm left with $664.94 in each one of my accounts. So this is what I actually do. I put some in savings. So this extra savings, and that's $664.94. I can do some as extra debt payment, $664.94. And then fun, that's for me, $664.94. Now when I look back at my goals, I know that I want to save at least I want to save at least $500 this month. I'm already doing that with putting $250 aside this pay period. The last pay period, I put $250 aside, so I've already done that. I've already met my goal of the $500. I'm gonna try to do the same thing with that next paycheck at the end of the month. However, that's the check that has to pay the rent, so I'm not exactly sure if I'm gonna be able to do that along with still trying to pay off debt. Then my next goal is to pay down my Discover card to 5%. Now I did do that with the previous paycheck, so that is good to go. Now the last goal I wanted to do was pay down my Navy Federal to 5%, and that was the big one. I think I owed like $1,000, so I'm not exactly sure if I'm gonna be able to do it, being that, like I said before, the next paycheck is the rent check. And then I usually don't like to have my rent with that one paycheck coming out, so I may use this extra saving as something to go towards the rent, and then I'll just put this extra debt payment with that towards that Navy Federal credit card. And then I use $664 for myself, because that can actually last me a long time. I may not need exactly all of that amount, but at the end of the month you will actually see what I actually did, because I will come back and do a monthly review. But this is how I actually plan out my paycheck for each pay period. This is my payday routine. If you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel. I post videos over here every single week, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.